So I've been involved with the state of investment type discussions for probably the last 5 years in different kinds of conferences, some for ARM. And each year it seems to get better. There was a bit of a blip one year, but every year I seem to be hearing from the panel that things are better, bigger, more investment than ever before. And this year, the same is the case. If you look at the different strata of investment, going from the spin-out stage, early VC investment, all the way through to the public markets, I think it's probably unusual over the last few years that all of those different strata seem to be firing on all cylinders. So there's a healthy market everywhere, which is good. And the other thing that I have noticed over the last few years is that there are more participants in those markets, particularly at the VC end. It used to be the exclusive domain of a limited number of adventurous, pioneering investors. Now they have competition, but it's not competition from people who are naive. It is competition from organizations that are also sophisticated investors in the early stage, which I think is very healthy. It will bring more investment into the space. It will bring more companies out of research and into what we ultimately want, which is therapeutics, reaching patients. The panel itself, I think, reflected what I've just said. They made a couple of extra points, which I thought were very interesting. The suggestion that the valuation approaches may have changed over the COVID period, simply because of the recognition of the importance of the industry as a whole or the industry, the healthcare industry in national infrastructures, if you like, sort of changing the whole perception of valuation, but also the recognition that there was an increased supply or an investment shock, if you like, a positive shock to investment in manufacturing infrastructure, which ultimately would boost the growth of the industry going forward. And I thought those were really interesting points that came out of the panel. But overall, the message was this is set to be last year was set to be another record year. We haven't quite got all the stats in yet. There's no sign of abatement. There's increasing sophistication. The only real question, which is one I was raising, and I think is in people's minds, is when will the discussions for companies that are in the listed status, who are high, older, more mature, more sophisticated companies that have been working on their science for 10 years and are now working on their business models, when are we going to start to see discussions about the value of the business models as much as we do about the value of the science? And I think that will be a true sign of maturity that hopefully will come in the coming years. But the overall message is the investment industry is very strong, and that's off the back of fantastic data coming out of a great industry.